This is Joel Silver. Welcome to another Children's Week update. April 7th is just a few more weeks away, and until then, you can join us here each and every week with news and information on everything Children's Week. And we have a lot of exciting things to tell you between now and Children's Week. But first up, your introduction to a tried and true Children's Week tradition, the hanging of the hands. Each year, we have kids from all over the state of Florida come together to create a beautiful menagerie of paper hand cutouts, each one decorated by a student or teacher. They will all be hanging together in the Capitol Rotunda, an incredible view. It's a testament both to the legislature that serves our children as well as the collective beauty created by none other than all of our kids. Tens of thousands of these unique art pieces are crafted every year by the children who join us at the Capitol for Children's Week. And we hope now that you can come by and be a part of that fun. It's now time for our interview. Joining us is Alan Abramowitz, Executive Director of the Statewide Guardian Ad Litem office, and this is a special interview, and we thank him for attending today. Mr. Abramowitz, thanks so much for joining us. Now let's start with this partnership with the Guardian Ad Litem program and Children's Week and the United Way. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, believe it or not, there are over 30,000 children under court supervision because they have been abused or neglected. Whenever a child comes into care and is removed from their parents, that child will go before a judge within 24 hours. That judge will appoint the Guardian Ad Litem program, and we in turn will assign a volunteer to be that child's advocate in every way until the case is completed and the child gets permanency either through adoption or reunified with their parents or some other goal.
That's fantastic. Now, as the leader of this program, tell us, what initiatives are you most proud of? Okay, I want to actually talk about the week of Children's Week. What are some of the events you like and that you're involved with?
Well, I'm really proud of the recruitment efforts. We have over 9,000 volunteers in the state, and over 8,250 are actually certified to carry cases that have been trained to advocate for children. There's never been that many volunteers in this state, and it really says something about our communities, and the public-private partnership that we are has really blossomed. And right now we are on about 70% of all children's cases of the 30,000 plus, but we need to get on every case. I'm also extremely proud that the decisions our program makes really reflects the interest of the children. We talk to the children all the time, we know what their expectations are, and what we are doing is actually furthering the best interests of children individually and together. And we see that, and it's reflected in some recent recognition that the Guardian Ad Litem program has gotten because of our volunteers, staff, and our partners in the community, a lot of them businesses. One of them in particular was the Prudential Davis Productivity Eagle Award. It's the top award in government. Tax Watch and others in state government are very much involved in selecting these groups, and it really reflected on the effectiveness and efficiency that the Guardian Ad Litem program has in advocating for children, because if you have a volunteer child advocate, you will get a better outcome for that child, be it an adoption, education outcome, etc. Also this past year, the Guardian Ad Litem program was recognized with a federal award called the Angel in Adoption Award. Senator Marco Rubio nominated the Guardian Ad Litem program, and we were selected to go to Washington, D.C. and be recognized because the Guardian Ad Litem program has advocated for adoptions on many of these cases that came to fruition. In fact, last year there were over 2,200 adoptions that the Guardian Ad Litem was on that closed out to adoption. Recently, Florida Trend recognized the Guardian Ad Litem program in a January edition where they stated that the statewide Guardian Ad Litem program is an elegant combination of effectiveness and accountability of individuals joining hands with government to give a voice to innocent kids who are suffering through no fault of their own. So the partnerships with business, with private citizens is really making a difference in our communities.
Okay, Mr. Abramowitz, what else do we need to know about Children's Week and the Guardian Ad Litem program?
It's a great time. Children's Week is a time to get energized and let everyone recognize that children are the priority in our communities throughout the state. And what happens is people come from all over the state to advocate for children here in Tallahassee. And the legislature and the governor is very receptive to it. And we're able to do many things that highlight the needs of children as we continue forward in the successes that we've had in the past. The days in particular during the week, the Children's Week, that really stands out for me is, for one, the Children's Youth Cabinet asked questions of leaders in child welfare. It's very exciting always to hear from children talk about their questions about what they have for the leaders. And that's always a very great time when they ask the leaders in the community, like Secretary Wilkins, Secretary Wansley Walters, myself, to ask hard questions so we can answer them and tell them what we're doing for children so outcomes for children in this state are better. Also, it's a time to reach out to our partners that also are interested in children issues, especially prevention, to talk about what we can do to ensure children don't get abused or neglected and can stay with their parents. So it's a time when a lot of things happen where we focus on children.
Sounds great. Now, here's a question. What events are you directly involved with Children's Week?
It's all such a great week. The Hang of the Hands is awesome because it really brings the children to life when you go there because they have their handprints. It really tells us who we're talking about. It's not some abstract policy, but these are real children that we are making decisions on. The other thing that I really enjoy is the legislative corner where they read to children. They bring children out, and the legislators take time out of their busy day. They have committee meetings and a lot of stuff going on, but they come out and they read to children, and the children get a free book. I always take time from my day to go and watch that. It's really exciting.
There's so many things going on at the Capitol this week. Is there anything our viewers should know about issues regarding the Guardian Ad Litem program as they're walking around talking to legislators?
We have a few. One in particular is to expanding volunteerism around the state, so every child in the state has a volunteer child advocate or a Guardian Ad Litem. That is a challenge because you can't just bring on volunteers without staff to support them. So we asked for additional dollars, and the governor supported in his recommendation of additional dollars so we can support more and more volunteers. We're getting close to the point where we may be at capacity where we can only replace volunteers, and we need those dollars because there's a statutory obligation, not just state statute, but federal statute, that every child have a Guardian Ad Litem on their case. So that is one area where we're working on. Another area that we hear from the kids is they want to be kids in foster care. They don't want to be treated differently. We have legislation that we're working in partnership with children. Actually, they're the leaders in this legislative proposal that the caregivers, the individuals that are caring for them 24 hours a day that have been licensed through a long process, have the right to make real-time decisions on normalcy just as a reasonable, prudent parent can make. Right now, they often have staffings or have to go to court, and children miss out. It's often humiliating for the children to have to wait to something that every other child is doing, be it go on a field trip or go with their band on an away trip, that gets delayed or doesn't happen because people are so concerned about liability or some other issue. So we're trying to really advocate that children can have normal lives and have the same extracurricular activities and activities that other people have. The other legislative issues that are going on that we support is extending foster care to 21. Right now, there's a Road to Independence scholarship to help children, but some children are not ready to turn 18 and be on their own. And we need to support these children in a way that they can continue to get their education so they don't age out of foster care and later become homeless or unemployed. So, there's initiatives with regard to a lot of youth.
Now, for those who don't know, can you tell me a little bit about the Guardian Ad Litem program?
Well, the Guardian Ad Litem program, although we are on children that have been abused and neglected or under the court system, we're also very supportive of all our partners that are coming up for the week because in reality, prevention has to be the focus. Once a child has been abused and neglected and entered into foster care, they have been traumatized that they will always be harmed by that situation. So although we're involved in children in foster care, we're really glad that prevention is such a focus of this legislature and governor because in the end, we want to be on 100% of the cases because not so many cases come in, not because we have more money so we can't be on all the cases, if that makes sense to you. So I think that if you are 21 years old and you have about 10 hours a month and you're willing to be trained, because we train the people to become volunteers, and most important, you have a heart for children and you want to make a difference in the life of a child, you can contact us, the Guardian Ad Litem program, at 866-341-1425, or you can go online and apply online to www.guardianadlitem.org. Again, it's www.guardianadlitem.org, and it will give you an opportunity to make a difference to children. And we will train you, and you may not think you have the ability, but you do if you have a heart for a child.
Alan Abramowitz, everybody, joining us on our second update from Children's Week headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to talking to you during Children's Week.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you so much for joining us, to Alan Abramowitz, and a great interview and something you may not have known a lot about. The Guardian Ad Litem program, but a very important program for children that we all need to recognize. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode from your Children's Week headquarters. Remember, if you want more details, go to childrensweek.org. Find out about events that are happening during Children's Week and register yourself to be here on the big week. But for now, from Children's Week headquarters, this is Joel Silver saying we'll see you next time.